Shalom, Yasharallah. It's your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. A salutation and much love to you, I can pushing this truth with sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this here lesson. Last video got deleted, corrupted the video file. So we're going to try to run through this as quick as possible. Lord willing to be edifying. Hopefully this video don't get corrupted. Alright, this video is dealing with Esau breaking the everlasting ordinances and the laws that the Most High had established on this earth. Okay, and we're dealing with GMO foods. Okay, this lesson was inspired by one of the brothers in our camp at GMS Tampa Bay 07. All right, this is start off in the book of Isaiah chapter 24 and jumping straight to the point, verse 5. It says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Okay? And then we're going to tackle the top half. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Okay? It says, the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, that basically the people are how the king is, or how their leader are, you know? You're going to be the followers are going to be like the leaders. If the leader's wicked, then the people that follow are going to be wicked as well, you know? And so, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, okay? And, you know, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, you know? And that's talking about Esau, you know? Esau is ruling all this. You're going to have to go to Esau for the one of all things, the hunger, thirst, and the one of all things, you know? And the nakedness, you know? You're going to have to go to Esau. So, you know, we know who this is talking, who is the one that's defiling this whole earth, you know? Also, the scriptures say, blood defileth the land, you know? And the land can't be cleansed by his blood that spilled the blood, you know. So we know Esau is a reprobate all the way around. But nevertheless, it says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. Okay? And so I'm going to jump into one of the laws and covenants the Most High had established that Esau had been broke, you know. One of them I'm going to go ahead and touch on is the land Sabbath, you know. Esau sits here and plow and reap the same damn field year after year after year without giving the land its rest, you know. And so all you're doing is depleting all the nutrients out of that damn soil, you know. And, you know, now you're coming into the problem where the produce or whatever you're growing out of that land no longer has the nutrients. And so now you have to inject the nutrients inside of it, you know, i.e. GMO food, genetically modified organisms, okay. You have to put the nutrients in there because the nutrients ain't in the ground because you didn't, you know, overused the damn land, and you never gave the land its rest, you know. But nevertheless, here's another one here in Genesis 1 and 11. It says, and Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Okay? So, the Most High created things, it says he created the herb yielding its seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. Okay, so you have an orange tree. Okay, the seed of the orange tree is inside the damn oranges that fall off the orange tree. Okay, now why is it nowadays you have things like lemons, seedless watermelons, seedless bananas? You have seedless apples, seedless oranges. You have all these things that come seedless now, you know. But the Most High put the seed inside of every fruit, you know, the same seed in itself, you know, that it could reproduce on its own. It would just keep going, you know. You didn't have to have somebody come up with some genetically modified seed to do all of this stuff, you know. And it was in a perfect harmony and perfect cycle. We had the same insects and bugs and shit the whole time, but it ain't been a problem until these last the last 100 years or so. Now it's such a big problem that we got to do something about it, you know. But nevertheless, you know, this is how Esau is breaking the laws, you know. He's starting to take the seeds out of certain things and create his own seeds. He got these new Monsanto seeds, you know, which kills off every damn thing else, you know. He's getting rid of all the things that the Most High created. Now he's creating his own things, you know. And I touched on this in a previous, you know, version of this video, but just to touch on it real quick, you know, I used to work at a tomato packing house, and what they did there was they spliced the tomato gene with the fish gene. The fish holds water inside of his body and his organs and stuff like that. It's an aquatic creature. The tomato, you know, you want it to be juicy still for a long time, you know, or they want it to be like that for a long time so they can sit it on your shelf for a longer time. You know, whatever. Esau's just Esau, you know. He don't believe in balance. He want to get it all right then and there. Like with the buffaloes, he wanted to kill all the buffaloes off instead of like the natives who would kill off what they needed and let the rest of them keep repopulating. So they always had the buffalo there, you know. But Esau and his old dumb ass, you know how Esau get down, man. He the most reprobate ass. He just a reprobate, man. But nevertheless, they would mix this fish gene and this tomato gene so the tomato will hold water. And as a quick test, go to your produce store and go get, you know, any produce and sit it on your counter and see how long it sits on your counter and look juicy. And it don't get soft or nothing like that. And when you cut it open, it still got juice on the inside, you know. You'll see it last like that for months on end. But once you separate it off the tree, okay, or off its vine or whatever, is losing its life support or whatever's feeding its nutrients. It can't get no more nutrients once you broke it off its, like, let's say, you take an orange off an orange tree, you know, through the branches and the roots and stuff like that. That's how, you know, roots in the ground is feeding the tree. The tree through the stalks and the stems like that is feeding the orange itself, you know. But once you break the orange off, it's supposed to start decaying and dying, you know, just like a human body. You know, a person die off in the road in the hot sun, he gonna slowly decompose, you know. They slow that process down by putting your body on ice. Okay, so this is basically like what Esau is doing here. He's trying to preserve it to make it last longer, you know. And touching back real quick on that tomato packing house I worked at, you know, they used to also gas the tomatoes, and they would turn like a bluish, like blue, not bluish, but a blue color, you know. And they would ship them out to the stores while they were still blue, you know. And they would sit in the stores until they turned a little greenish color, and then you would see them on the shelves when they were red, you know. But I took some of these tomatoes home and sat them off on the counter and seen how long they would be until they actually started turning red, you know. They lasted like 3 months, you know. You're not supposed to have no food that lasts that long, man. That's not good. Just imagine what's going on inside of your body when that food's not able to break down, with your body not able to break it down. It's not naturally breaking down inside of your body. And also it's holding water and it's holding all these other things. That's just tomato with the fish gene. You know, Lord knows what else Esau's mixing up with what else to get whatever else effect, you know. But nevertheless, this is how Esau is dealing with some of this stuff, you know, taking seeds out of this and splicing seeds and putting seeds together and stuff like that. You ain't supposed to do all of that, you know. You're supposed to leave it just how the Most High had it already set up. Everything was already in perfect order and condition, you know. The Most High is perfect for all his ways of judgment, you know. He knew how long you needed to have an orange off the tree and how long it was supposed to take to decompose, so you didn't eat nothing that was spoiled or nothing like that, and you get sick off of it, you know. And now all the things you're eating is nothing but preservatives and stuff like that. So the insides of your body is being so-called sealed shut. You know, it's just doing a damage to your body. You know, there's a couple YouTube videos you can look at. The yellow cheese, you can see what happens to yellow cheese, how it don't melt. You know, even with an open flame, it just turned black and it looks like you melting plastic. Walmart ice cream sandwiches, they don't melt no matter how hot it is around. You know. Shit, ramen noodles, how they catch on fire as if the shit's plastic, and plastic rice and all kind of shit, you know. McDonald's French fries. I'm not suggesting you eat, I do not condone you eating McDonald's, but how they don't decompose. You know, you have French fries you find under your seat for months and months and months on end. You know, let's say you have a kid, or when you was a kid, you dropped French fries between the seats and stuff like that. Months later, that French fry still look as if it was brand new. It's not supposed to be like that, you know. Just imagine that being inside of your stomach like that, you know. Look up the McDonald's test, or the, you know, I think it's called a McDonald's test, 30 days, not him eating it for 30 days, but he put it in these glass jars for 30 days and watch it decompose, you know, and all that fast food type of shit. After 30 days, it looked like you just bought it, you know, whereas real food, it looks all disgusting. It's all broke down. You open a jar, smells horribly bad, you know, which that's actually good. That's it decomposing and breaking down on its own self, you know, so you don't have a planet full of just trash and, you know, imagine you have an orange field, you know, and all these oranges fall down on the ground, nobody pick them up. You'd have a pile of oranges year after year. But, you know, all praise to the Most High, he created a wonderful system that they would just decompose, refertilize the ground, and come back on up, you know. So, you know, this is just some of the stuff that Esau he gets into. Next scripture is in Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. It says, and Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. And yes, so, you know, right now we're in captivity under Esau. You have to go to him for the one of all things. Hunger, thirst, nakedness, for the one of all things. You got to go to Esau, you know. and the earth, how does it say, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Why? Because he transgressed the laws and the ordinances, you know. Esau then fucked everything up. And Most High said it's supposed to have seeds and everything, but Esau, it came up and had seedless everything. Preservatives and everything. Now, we're going to just have this so it can last a lot longer. Putting steroids in all kind of foods. You got chickens that go from, you should look that up too. The chickens, they go from the egg to your plate in, I believe, 28 days. This chicken then reached over maximum growth potential, because it's bigger than what it would naturally be, okay? But it goes to its largest state to where these chickens' bones aren't even developed and strong enough yet to carry the weight of the whole chicken. These chickens are walking around slumped because they're so big, you know? In 28 days, they go from being from an egg to on your plate, ready to eat. 28 days, not even a whole month. You know, this chicken has grown his whole life growth spurt in 28 days, you know? So when you start consuming these things, like the steroids and that stuff, you wonder why, you know, your kids, you see Jake, the kids are growing up obese. You know, sometimes they like way overweight because they're eating all these junk foods and things like that, and foods with steroids in it, and the foods that don't decompose inside of your body, you know? And also you see people who are really, really skinny, you know, and no matter how much they eat, it ain't really getting no bigger, you know? Well, because of the foods they eat don't have no nutritional value. So you just basically just eating like mass, you know? Like you just getting weight inside of your body and just shitting it out. You're not getting no nutrients or nothing like that from it, you know? The food's supposed to pass through your body, and your body's supposed to strip it from the nutrients, vitamins, and the minerals and pass off anything else that you don't need, you know? But all you're doing is putting it in your mouth and just passing it out, you know, when you go to the bathroom, you know? And your body's not really getting anything from it, you know? Like, hell, you can go to McDonald's. Again, I'm not suggesting go there, but you can go to McDonald's and you can eat till your damn belly is full. Just eat as much as you can eat. And 10 to 15 minutes go by, you're going to be hungry again. Wonder why. You didn't ate so much of food, though. You know, you put so much food inside your stomach, you know, and you know you ain't shit it out yet, you know. And then you wondering, like, damn, how am I still hungry? Because your body ain't stripping nothing. You just holding all that stuff inside your body, which isn't decomposing, you know. We got one more scripture we're going to close out. This is the book of Mark, chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 17, you know. And I'm going to read this. Well, let me just go ahead and read this. Mark 16 and 17. It says, "And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils and shall speak with new tongues." Okay? Now I want to prepare that, the top part, "and these signs shall follow them that believe." Okay? It says, "and these signs shall follow them that believe." Verse 18. "They shall take up serpents," you know, poison, something poisonous, you know. "They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover." Okay? So just pairing, you know, the top of both of these verses, and these signs shall follow them that believe. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them, you know. So in this thing, you know, first of all, you know, you want to be cautious and aware of what you are eating, you know. But at the same time, you drive yourself nuts trying to eat some real pure food, you know. Esau's a damn devil. You got to understand this damn devil. You know, it's way more profitable for him. Instead of making a GMO product and a non-GMO product, it's easier, cheaper, and more efficient for him to just make a GMO label and a non-GMO label. So he's feeding you the same ass food, and he just give you two different labels on there. Okay, this is GMO. It's going to be cheaper than the non-GMO. You're going to pay more money for that shit. You know, and all he did was spend a little bit more on ink just to stamp GMO or non-GMO on a label, you know. But nevertheless, it says, they shall take up serpents, and if they drink any other thing, it shall not hurt them. Yeah, like the water in Flint, Michigan, you know, with that, I believe it was lead in the water. You also got fluoride in the water, make you docile. This is why Jake always in that state of mind, like, you know, you tell him about something, you know, Esau fucking us up, just, yeah, that's just how it is. You know, these are those old people who sit there and just drink, you know, tap water day in, day out, you know. Hitler came up with that fluoride in the water, make the people docile, you know. And this is why you see a lot of Jake, they don't want to fight or not even fight fist-to-fist combat type of things, but they don't want to stand up to any kind of wrongdoings or anything, you know. Somebody, you know, Esau be in shortage you on some kind of change or here or there or screw you over some kind of bill or something like that. Yeah, it's whatever. That water making you docile, you know. But a lot of shit going on. You know, Jake should be up in arms right now looking at the condition of his neighborhood and no jobs. Jake should be furious. Like, we ain't got no jobs around here. Our neighborhood's all fucked up. We got the worst of the worst. Any Jake in their right mind should just know about that. Jake know about that, but again, that water make him docile. You know, he don't want to, you know, fight it off, you know. But also with the GMO foods and stuff like that, you know, we eating this GMO food and there ain't really no real way around it, you know. Even if you want to so-called go get, you know, your so-called whole food herbs and stuff like that, you got to look at the origins of them seeds and who the fuck control all the seeds. Look into Monsanto's. You know, you can't really get around that. And even if it's not the seed itself, you got to look at the soil. And if it ain't the soil, like I said with the tomato packing house, they had already spliced the seed. That was one way. Then the ground that they put it in, that was another way. Then they brought it into this place where they gassed it in like a gas chamber. That's another way, you know. And then not only that, they got like your canned foods. The inside of that lining of the can has a preservative inside that material. You know, certain bottles that certain things are put in, like you know about the BPH in water, you know, or your water bottles and plastic and stuff, Tupperware like that. But also when you look at pill bottles, tea bottles, beer bottles, the reason that they're brown is because there's a coating inside, and a lot of the things that fruit juices, all kind of things that you go to the store, and when you get them in these bottles and stuff like that, there's layers inside that bottle. Fuck. Salakia. There's layers inside that. There's layers inside those bottles that help as a preservative to preserve the content that's inside of it. You know, pills or whatever. I don't know how pills go bad, but you know, this is why these bottles are so-called brownish color. You know, and when you think about it, it's actually cheaper just to make a clear plastic something than to put that dye inside of there in that other layer. But they get a longer shelf life that way, so this is why they do that stuff. You know. But I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this video don't get corrupted. You know, Lord willing that you got a couple of things that you can go and, you know, do some research on and see some of this food stuff, you know. But I want to also remind you that, again, like the scriptures say, I'm going to read it one more time, Mark 16 and 17. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. So basically, you're going to, if you drink any deadly thing, it should not hurt you. Also, eat and consume those type of things, you know. That ain't saying to say, fuck it, we're going to go out there and eat McDonald's. No, we ain't saying that, you know. You got to pray over your food, have faith over your food, you know. And also be circumspect over some of the things that you're consuming, you know. But with that, Lord, when this lesson was edifying. So next time I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone that taught me the truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love to you. I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. Stay strong. Shalom.